Welcome back to math. Today's lesson is 11.8, fraction problem solving. So grab your markboard and marker and let's get started for today. Our I can for today is I can use reasoning to problem solve. So let's dive in right away with our first problem. In this question, Mary has 12 marbles. 3/12 of the marbles are yellow and 2/12 are blue. The rest of the marbles are green. The question asks, what fraction of the marbles are green? All right, so I always like to think about what information is given. What do I know in this question? So in this question, I know that Mary has 12 marbles. So these are my givens. So in a fraction, we know that the total goes in the denominator. So that is 12 marbles. We know that 3 of the marbles are yellow, and we know that 2 of the marbles are blue. Okay? So first I'm going to figure out how many marbles those are. Well, that's 5 marbles so far. Then the rest are going to be green, and we don't know how many are green. So that's the question that we need to figure out. So if there's 12 of them and the rest are green, we're going to take 12 minus 5 to figure out what's special, and that special is our numerator. So we're going to take 12 minus 5, and that equals 7. So 7/12 are going to be green. So what's special are the green marbles. 7 out of the total number of marbles is 12. And we can check our work. So yellow is 3, blue is 2, and green is 5. So, 7. So if we double check it, 7 plus 3 is 10 plus 2 is 12. So that works, 12 out of 12 marbles. All right, let's check our next problem. In this question, it says if I had a piece of wood and cut the wood into 4 parts, like the picture below, and cut off the first shade section, did I cut off 1/4 of the board? So let's look at it. So here's the drawing, and it's sectioned off like this, and like this. All right, and then it says if I cut off this much of the board, did I cut off 1/4 of the board? So we've got to talk about this. Do you think that I cut off 1/4 of the board? Now, we know that when we work with fractions, we look at how many total pieces are there. 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, sure enough, and there's 1 gone, 1/4. But something just doesn't seem right here. Something's not right. What do you think it is? The board is not divided into equal parts. Because if you look here, this part is smaller than this part, and this part's definitely smaller than this part. So no, this does not work. When we work with fractions, fractions have to have all equal parts. So this is not correct. So this was not cut correctly. So if you see a fraction where they're not in equal parts, this cannot be 1/4 because it was not cut into equal parts. So that does not work. So that is not 1/4 because it was not cut into equal parts. Let's look at this one. So in this problem, Jake found a piece of wood cut in the shape of an equilateral triangle. He cut off a section of the triangle shown to the right here, and Jake cut off 1/3 of the triangle. Is that right? So if I were to draw an equilateral triangle, and it cut like this, and cut like this, and I removed this section here. Okay, so does this, what do I know about this? Does this show that he cut off 1/3? Is this 1/3? Again, if I look at this, it is showing 3 sections, and one of the sections is gone. But what I'm noticing is I'm trying to figure out, is it 1/3 of the triangle? So what's wrong with this picture is even though it is cut into 3 sections and one of the sections is missing, they are not 3 equal sections. Therefore, the section that's shaded or missing right here is not 1/3 because these 3 sections are not equal. So no, 1/3 is not shaded in. All right, here's another question we're going to look at. So in this problem, it says Aaron says that 1/2 is always the same amount as 2/4. And Matthew says that 1/2 and 2/4 are equivalent fractions, but they could be different amounts. We want to figure out, is Aaron correct or is Matthew correct? Well, let's take a look at this. I'm going to do some drawings here. So let's look at my first illustration. So here, I could cut this in half, and this is representing 1/2. And right here, this is representing 2/4. Now, in this picture, the circles are the same size. And the amounts are the same size. But then let's try another illustration. Okay, so let's take a look at this. And let's take a look at, so we're going to circle in here. And let's take a look at this. So in this one, the circles are not the same size because you can see this circle is bigger than this circle. So circles are not the same size. And then if we come down here, the amounts are different. Okay, so this is 2/4 and this is 1/2. So even though it's taking up half, you can see that if I were to pick this up and put it on top of here, you're not getting the same amount. Even though this is half of this and this is half of this, the amounts are definitely different here. So if we look at this, we would see that Matthew is correct that 1/2 and 2/4 are equivalent, but they could represent different amounts. This amount, they're both showing half of the object, but the amount is different. You're not getting the same amount when the size of the shape is different. So Matthew is correct. Let's take a look at one final problem. So in this is a board that's cut into 12 equal pieces. And I want to know how many pieces together would represent 3/4 of the board. So we've got to figure out how could these 12 pieces, 3/4 of the board, how many pieces would that represent? So let's figure that out together. So what I'm going to do is I am going to figure out 3/4 of 12. All right, I am going to be putting them into groups of 3, 1, 2, 3, until I get to 4 groups. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3. So I wanted 4 groups, and I want 3 of those 4 groups. So here's 1, 2, 3. So I would have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So the fraction would be 9 out of 12. So 9/12. So 9 pieces would represent 9/12. 9 pieces. All right. So today, what we did is we use reasoning to problem solve fraction problems. So log into your Google Classroom today and check out your assignment from your teacher. See you next time.